There you go.
All right, so right now, what we're doing is we're preemptively digging holes with, what is that, Dad? Just a rod?
It's called, it's called I used to use a hot bar, now this is just a regular fencing bar.
Fencing bar. Okay. I knew there was like a specific name for it than just steel rod. All right, so
I prefer the hot bar myself.
So we're just making the holes preemptively so that we can then put a post into it. So, once we have the hole, then we can put what we got here, which is a locust post in, and we're using a fencing maul to pound them in.
Preferably a fencing maul.
Yeah, okay, so hold on one second, Johan. So this is a fencing maul. Okay, so this is by Sweet. It's got a bigger head on it, which is what you're looking for. Thank you, Johan. Zoom in a little bit. So this has got a bigger head on it than an actual normal maul does. So took us forever to find one. But yeah, we're just these are locust posts that we're pounding in, which last a lot longer than even pressure treated, I would argue.
How long does
about 50 years.
Well,
these are yellow, they'll last about 20. The black, which are the ones with thorns, locusts with thorns, last about 40 to 50.
yeah.
So the yellows will last right around 20.
Yeah, and that's what we're using right now.
We're using yellow.
Yeah. So
Can you explain for people who don't know what the difference between yellow and thorn is?
it's just
the black locust fence post has thorns. They're the ouchy thorns. And the yellow locust fence posts don't have thorns.
Yeah.
Okay, the branches have thorns on them.
yeah.
You want the ones technically with thorns, but the yellow works just as good for 20 years.
Yeah. And there's still fence posts we have here from when you and Grandpa did it the first time around. And we're still using
them. I put them in when I was 16.
And you're how old?
50.
That was a little salty for being 50. So this is so you can kind of look down the row here. So we've come up this way so far. We still have to go down that way. And then right over here is the swamp, which we're trying to kind of avoid at the moment.
It's deep.
Yeah. All right.
I am tightening up the fence.
Yes, but with what, Father?
A bar. A metal bar. All right, give me a staple in the bottom.
No, bottom, Johan.
All the way on the wood.
Bottom. Now, why do we start with the bottom first?
For you make sure it stays to the ground. You rather have it all tight to the ground, not to the top. Whatever it is on the top, it's on the top.
All right. So the reason you want to put a staple in, so you got these like bars here. You want to put a staple going across them. The reason for that is so that
the fence stays taut.
The fence stays taut. It's not going to move. So Johan kind of messed up down here. Now what would happen is he did put them in really tight and he put two, so it's not going to move now. But this would have moved once he let go of it. So now we're going to do the top.
Here, I got this.
I got it.
Okay. Put one down here.
Yep.
Hold on, I don't like that. Let me
Tighten it.
Okay.
And for the rest of the thing, are we going to use a bar like this? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There is a equipment out there that will stretch it on the tractor. It costs money. This is the cheapest way I've found to do it.
Yeah, it's a little more labor intensive, but
On average, how much cheaper is how expensive is one of those equipment pieces?
Well, there are a couple $100 where this costs $25. You're gonna need it, or $25 to $100, where you're gonna need it post in anyways.
so you might as well buy the bar anyways. So if you can see, we have our corner post here, and the reason we have the corner post the way we do is because we want to not allow the animals to push it too hard, because they're going to push.
Thank you. There we go. Put a good nail in that. Right there. Right here.
Again, the reason we're doing this is because the animals will push on the wire, and you want your corner to be tight, so when they're pushing all the way down there, they're not pulling this post out.
Watch your head.
I'm watching. I need it. That'll be my-
Okay. That's the tightest we're gonna get. Put one right there first.
I'm on a knot. I'm on a knot. You had to put me on a knot. It's a knotty situation. All right, can I have a...
Now see how
Do you want to explain?
You want to explain what you did on the outside table and going on the inside over there?
okay. The whole thing now is I'm on the outside here, but you really want the fence on the inside. But on a corner, you always put it on the outside for it keeps it taut. That's why you got the wood on here and the wood over there holding it all together. This way the corner post doesn't move.
Does the work for you, basically.
Yes.
And again, the reason we do it on the inside is so when the animal's pushing, he's pushing on the post too, not just the wire.
And not just the staples.
Yeah, that's
He's
it.
pushing on
Everything.
the fence post,
Everything's-
not the staples.
Everything's working. You gotta be on this side, bud.
The biggest problem is they'll pull staples out. Animals are,
Animals are a royal pain. You're gonna have to get tighter than that, Johan. Johan, you gotta get tighter than that. You're gonna have to go one.
see how nice and tight that is? The bottom's tight,
Not the
not the top.
The bottom is the most important thing to be tight so that no one can slip under.
Yes! Unlike over there.
Explain what happened, why the bottom needs to be tight over there.
They got my ducks.
What got your duck?
We don't know.
Some carnivorous animal went in underneath the fence and attacked her livestock, her waterfowl.
You wanna grab?
Mostly.
You wanna try it?
I'm going to tell you, locust fence posts, especially old locust fence posts,
They're hard to pound into.
it's, they turn into, swear to God, concrete. Give me another staple for here. That's
really
why
hard
I always buy the 1 1/4 inch staples, especially if you're doing locust fence posts. Don't, whatever you do, buy the 2-inch ones unless you're putting them in the pine.
Otherwise, have fun. You'll be pounding for a while. As it was, I think these are bigger than 1 1/4. I think these are 1 1/2s. But they were from a previous project.
That over there.
Yeah, waste not, want not.
None of this is difficult.
No, it just requires common sense, which, you know, some people don't have.
Oh, he just recorded that, by the way.
Oh, well. Is it wrong?
Politically incorrect.
How's it politically incorrect? There's no political to it.
True.
All right, you're doing the bottom one, Johan, so go around. Here, Katie.
So this is a corner post insulator.
You want to put it up to the camera?
Well, you put the camera to me, man. You're the cameraman, not me. So the corner post insulator, you have a wire that goes through the main hole here. And then you take the wire while it's still attached. And you make it go around this part. Johan, keep going, hon. You gotta go all the way down to the end, bud.
Actually, no, we're not going all the way down, but that's okay. Keep going.
Late.
Help me out.
Just hold still.
And what's these tools you're using?
All right, so these are fencing pliers. They're definitely something you're gonna want to have when you're doing fencing.
They're good for everything.
Yeah, they are. So
Lower, Katie, lower.
I'm going lower. So you're gonna have to actually take it on that side, hon, and so you get it about even. That's about right, Dad?
Yep.
And you take it and you wrap it around the post.
You gotta, okay, now turn it off for a minute.
So, and then it's all twisted on that end and it's twisted here. And as you can see, the wire is now wrapping up and around and going around the corner.
Yeah. So what I did here is I twisted it here to make sure it was taut against there. And now they're heading back over there. We have another one here to put up there because we're going from 4 wires to 2 wires because,
We already got fencing down this way.
yeah.
We already got page wire.
So, come here, Max. So we have 2 different types of insulators, or actually 3 different types of insulators. So you got the corner post insulator, and then you have this type of insulator. So this is not my favorite type of insulator whatsoever, but what it does is it pops it away from the post. Okay, this insulator over here is what you would call a round insulator, and as you can see, it's not popping it too far away from the post like that one does. So the other one really pops it away, and the reason we're using these for here, for anything that doesn't have fencing, is 1, they're easier to put in because it's just straight in. 2, they're also cheaper. Whereas these are a tad bit more expensive, and as you can see, I honestly don't like them because
Come here. I'll show you why. Why you get the longer ones when you're doing page wire, for the animals don't beat on the page wire, you put the electric on. But why you want them longer is because you don't want to touch the page wire, because that will be a direct short. It can touch wood, but it should never touch other wire.
All right.
Okay? That is the bottom line. Make sure you get the longer ones if you got page wire. Because it can be a royal pain in the...
So do we want to put some things, because that looks Really?
Yes, so you're gonna go get the small little sticks that we have that we used for here initially,
And just kind of
yeah, go down the line and double check it. I also have some normal metal fence posting that you're gonna use, and
just to pull it back a
just
little
to pull it back a little bit more,
Here.
so things don't touch. Thank you.
Yeah, any electrical rods to hold it back. Make sure you
Anything.
don't touch nothing. That's what you need to do.
All right.
Just double check on everything.
And
This is a fence stretcher. Okay, you can actually still find these. This stretches your wire. Okay,
Makes everything nice and tight.
because the tighter, truthfully, the tighter the there to go. I got one tight. Oh, here.
I need that anyways, yeah. The tighter the wire, Dad.
The tighter the wire, the better the electric goes through. Okay, go ahead. Okay, let me let go.
Hold on, don't let go just yet. Don't let go just yet. Okay, now you can let go. Oh, you need that.
This thing likes to bite. You really got to be careful. I've had it snap. I've had wires snap. I have had it do some crazy things.
So you gotta pay attention.
So when you're doing this, keep your brains in check.
Brain in check.
Yes,
Yeah,
because you do not want to be dumb in a no dumb zone.
Yeah, I thought we were wrapping that wire down to there.
I'd rather not. I'd rather use the wire that we have.
Okay.
Can I grab it?
Yeah. I think that's tight enough, actually.
You don't want to try it one more time? Yeah, that's good. How many acres roughly do you feel like you can tighten with this? Or miles, I should say. How many miles?
It's best in a straight line.
We're not going to.
Okay, but if you were doing high tensile wire, you're better off because they got the actual ones what you put in the wire, and you actually can tighten them up in the wire. Okay, this is the old-fashioned way. Okay, this is from, hate to say it, my era.
Oh, and how old are you, Father?
Old enough to know better and still don't.
Ow. So as you can see, he's taking it around the post on one end, grabbing the wire on this end, and then he's like pulling it. But the machine is doing all the work for him.
Give me the, I don't like it. Pull that wire a little bit first.
Got it?
Yep. Go ahead, let go. Now hit this tight. Thank you. Okay. Sometimes it likes to slip on thin wire like this. So you really got to make sure it is actually moving. Like you can see right now what it's doing. Okay, go ahead. And you can see I got 3 wires which are all pretty close together, and then one higher. Kate Johan, go back and, okay? There's a reason I did that.
Yeah.
is, and the goats are going to hit these 3 wires first. This wire to here on top is actually for the cows. If you're only got cows, you only need this wire and this wire. These 2 here. Goats, most of the time, will stay in a 4 fence, long as it's hot, and as long as there's a lot of property.
They got a lot to eat, which you pan that way, Johan. You can show them. They got enough to eat.
Goats like brush. That's why we're putting them in here.
They're blah, blah, blah.
They're like deer.
They're I'll post it later. Dad, I need that wire.
All right, what I'm doing here is, the problem is I am really close to the fence here. Okay, so I don't like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it over here. Now I got a little more gap. I'm going to take this piece of wire. I'm going to bring it over like this. And I'm going to strap it. Oh, it went back on. I'm going to strap it on like this. You see what I did? And that's going to hold the wire onto my insulator.
So it's like a Band-Aid.
It is a Band-Aid. Okay, and then what you're going to do, now if you got one where you want, okay, let's say this one here is like up here because the ground goes all over the place and it keeps popping out. You're going to want to do that to that.
Yep. Okay. So we got a little Band-Aid. We fixed it. But now we got an actual gap in between the board, which we didn't have before.
Okay, so what are we guys doing?
So we're putting in the ground.
The ground wire, the ground post.
The ground post.
The-
It was all the way up here.
It was like a 7-foot ground post. Okay? You got to get this in at least minimum of 4 feet. I am kidding you not. It does better, and it helps the
thing.
The fencer.
the fence charger. It needs a good ground. If you don't have a good ground, you'll never have a good fencer. The ground is like the holy grail of this whole thing. If you don't have a good ground, you got shit.
Language, sir.
I am just...
Can you hold the worm straight?
They do sell ground rods.
Yeah, they're zinc ground rods. I wasn't gonna spend them.
They wanted $22 for them now.
No, try 40 at Tractor Supply.
No, it was 22. I looked at them. I was going to buy one. Then I decided against it.
So we'll just say it's between $22 and $40.
Yes. Okay. You're
Oh,
good.
we got a rock.
we got a big rock. Okay. Another. Hold on. You ready? This is also another important little piece. Buy it.
And please explain what it does.
It goes on my ground rod, and it makes life so much easier. I'm telling you, buy it. It's worth the money.
What, are we sponsored by them now?
Only Tractor Supply?
No, I don't care who it is. I'm just saying this piece here. This is, oh, I need a scuba diver.
A scuba diver? I got the scuba diver.
Dad, what are we doing?
We're making a jumper to go over the gate
Once
we-
we get the gate.
once we get the gate. Right now, if you span over there, this is the gate here. And we're going to make a jumper for the tractor can go through we don't have to unhook or hook wire on. Because the animal should not
Screw with the gate.
screw with the gate too much. Get it, baby?
Yeah, it's just was going in weird.
Fine.
Alright, I need the other insulator.
Johan,
Show
get
what
over here,
insulators.
please.
We're using the round insulators. That's all we're using.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
There's a piece of scrap wood we got. Use anything you need, you can get.
Uh-oh.
It don't have to be fancy.
It's split a little bit.
That's fine. You could have come down a little bit. So, okay. Johan, wire.
Wire, bub.
Wire. How much wire?
So we're literally going to put the wire over and up and across.
Okay, you got my screws?
Yes. Well, he's
I need
got 'em.
4 screws at least.
Here, I'll get him, babes.
And what we're doing is just stay right there. Don't move, Johan. What I'm doing is Max. What I'm doing is I'm jumping it over here. Then I'm coming up to this, hooking it in.
Making it high enough for the tractor. Which if my tractor goes higher than that, we have issues.
Okay, we're gonna have to put a insulator here too.
Down
okay.
here? Okay.
Okay, we're gonna put an insulator here.
I can screw things in.
It would be helpful if you knew how to screw.
Yeah, I'm going the right way. Dad, you're like in my way, man.
Okay, put me one up here.
The reason I went so slow is because I didn't want to freaking knock out the cameraman. It's okay. We don't need him.
Why are you going slow again?
So I don't split it. Can I have a little more oomph behind it, Dad? Thank you.
Okay. All right. All right. Give me another.
Insulator.
Insulator.
Go get an insulator, Max.
All right, you can turn that off.
Why? We want to show the
Oh,
other side.
okay. We gotta show the other.
We gotta show the completed project.
Okay, so I'm putting it up over here. Then we're going up like this.
Yeah.
And then we have a jump. And quite literally, if we got issues, we got issues. If that's not high enough. Because that's pretty far up there.
Actually, you got me 2, Max. Good boy.
All right, Max, here you go.
So,
Cameraman.
I mean, it's something simple, stupid,
That needs to be
but
done.
it's the easiest way I've come across of doing it. But you can take an old electric lead cord. You can take an old electrical lead cord and bury it in the ground and do it underneath that way too. I've done that.
What would you say is more effective, above or below?
Truthfully, this way you don't have to worry about digging holes. This is easier. Where's my pliers?
He's got him.
He's my thief of my pliers.
I do. Well, I can't say that on camera because I might get caught.
All right, Dad, where do you want to put him? Just around here.
Yeah, right there.
Like this,
You
right?
need the wire?
We're going to need the wire for going around the other side. these insulators do is direct where everything's going. Yep, popping in. Want to make sure it's not touching any wood, otherwise it grounds itself out.
So ground itself out and not cause a
Wood
fire.
is not as bad as hitting grass
Or the ground itself.
or the ground itself. Hitting the wood will not totally ground it out.
But it's still a grounding
But it's still,
mechanism.
I mean, if she got a weed chopper, which is a better one, you wouldn't have to worry about the weeds either. But they don't make them like they used to.
Oh, you mean the metal things?
The fencers.
Oh, the fencers?
The fencers. They don't make them like they used to.
All right.
All right, this looks good.
Johan, do you not know how to use a staple?
Yeah, I do. She said I fucked that one up.
Language.
Oh, and actually explain where you're putting the staple.
He's not putting it in the right spot, Father.
Oh, he's not?
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
All right. Technical difficulty.
No, it's
Take-
called Johan not paying attention. Wait.
Take 2.
I'm more over.
Really?
Yeah, go. Yeah, you barely bent the wire.
He's not you, Dad.
Nobody's me.
Come on!
And this is siblings working together. Language. We're trying to be educational.
Yeah, educational, man. That's fine.
Sorry.
You're gonna have to put this. You're gonna have to
Okay,
put
hold on.
beeps in.
Stop. Back up. Now he's just getting antsy. Let go. Back up. Get out of my way.
Doesn't do well under performance.
No,
Now.
I don't.
Feel sorry for your girlfriend.
Huh? Oh, you're an asshole.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. There. Now,
I want to be able to get hired at some point.
This is what rednecks do to strip wire.
I can't do it now.
Come on, use those teeth.
Freaking hell.
no, but this redneck actually has 2 teeth.
What the fuck? Johan, don't move.
OSHA, don't be watching this.
Johan, stop moving!
I'm not.
This is just bloopers.
Okay, stop.